plugs. There are quite a few things that I'm guilty of, one of them being a chronic button masher, and I could get by through games like Assassin's Creed 2 no problem, but when it comes to realistic medieval action games like Mount & Blade Warband, I'm a spastard with a low life expectancy. Warband is the expansion to Tale World's first retail title, Mount & Blade, except it costs more and doesn't require the original game. So I guess it's not an expansion then. I don't know, moving on. Warband is a sandbox game similar to its predecessor. You raise your own army, join a faction, siege castles of rival factions, ransack villages, and so on. The game doesn't tell a story. It's up to you to carve your own destiny through justice and the righteousness of your cause. Or pillage and burn to your black heart's content, because that's much easier. The game consists of two parts. One is turn-based strategy and the other is real-time combat. Think Total War, but you could take part in the carnage. You create your own character and begin from a lowly peasant to a powerful warlord or king. As you raise your army, you come across various lords that take up quests for the sake of gaining renown, money, and brownie points for alliances. The first thing you'll notice is how much time it takes to travel from place to place. You'll spend a ridiculous amount of time staring at your character prance across the map. Still, f it, I'm going outside. Warband focuses on realism. There's no magic swords or fireballs. The game shows the warts of the Middle Ages that other games gloss over. I made my character woman, and playing a woman in Warband is a bitch and a half. You'll have an easier time joining a faction and obtaining quests if your character was a man. The gender inequality is realistic, but it makes the game awkward since all NPCs act the same, and you're expected to marry one of these lifeless butt plugs. You have to build and maintain your own army, and this can get really expensive, especially when you factor in the outrageous cost of equipment. Salaries, upgrades, and rewards are incredibly disproportionate, and the game becomes a juggling act between managing your finances and character progression. However, not all is lost, and the game's real draw is in the epic battles, which range from small skirmishes to massive sieges consisting of hundreds of units. These hectic and realistic battles are what makes Warband unique and well worth playing. Dawdling across the map gets boring as hell, but it's the action that makes it worthwhile. As you upgrade your character, you could hone melee, ranged, and horseback riding skills. The combat is very visceral, and you have to focus on defending yourself as much as killing your enemies. You're not some superhuman demigod. A stray arrow or a misplaced lance can be fatal. What's really cool is that the damage system factors in momentum. Attacking or being attacked while charging amplifies weapon damage, so no matter how strong you get, getting careless can still get you killed. The AI is aggressive and skillful, keeping you on your toes at all times, and this just adds to the experience. You really get the sense of being one man in the midst of something greater than yourself. With this kind of scale, you think that sieging a castle would be the highlight of the game, but like in the first Mount & Blade, the sieges are still very broken. You have no control over the placement of the ladders, nor can you choose whether or not you get a siege tower. Most of the time, the army is funneled to the base of the ladder to climb it 2 by 2, hand in hand, only to get their faces smashed in. Plus, in their haste to get up the ladder, your allies shove you aside, which in real life would be fine by me. But this is a game, and I'd like to frickin' play it. Warband's only new real feature over Mount & Blade is the multiplayer. There are no co-op battles against AI, but if competitive multiplayer is your thing, then Warband will be a huge time sink. The realistic combat worked beautifully when other players are involved and is fun on any scale. The maps have a lot of variety and play really well. You're forced to stay with your allies in order to survive, and in large battles, not one person makes a difference. And Warband's multiplayer is something I've never experienced before, and I like it. Mount & Blade Warband is a bittersweet experience. On the one side, you have the arduous map screen and lifeless NPCs, while on the other you have the glorious battles, which are almost like a reward for putting up with all that crap. You've never seen action like this before, and despite the annoying hiccups, Warband is well worth your time.